you must be very excited. I mean, a huge film coming out, the nomination. You must be over the moon. How do you react? I mean, you're an actor, but as a human being, all emotions.
Oh, I mean, it's a lovely feeling, you know, if people even see your work. I come from a background of indie movies, and, you know, you're lucky if your films find an audience. They might not find an audience straight away, but if they're any good through word of mouth, they might do. And so it feels wonderful to be part of projects that kind of immediately connected to a mass audience and been received really well.
How do you feel being part of, I mean, it's an incredible machine. It's been going on forever. It has fans that are from 5-year-old to, I mean, every stage, every age.
Yeah.
How did you connect to Star Wars?
Well, I think you're right. You know, I think that's something that's so special about these films and these stories, is that it can kind of connect with everyone. It almost has that kind of blanket appeal. It just wraps us all in its kind of warm embrace, you know, all ages, all backgrounds. And I think there aren't many things like that. It's almost like the World Cup and the Olympics and Star Wars, you know, seems to be the things that bring the whole world together. So it's certainly a privilege to be part of that.
I really enjoyed your character. He's a very kind of a nerd. He's very precise. He talks a lot. He's very fast. How does it fit into your work, the previous work? As I was reading your extract from Typecast as a Terrorist, and I've seen some of bits.
Well, that essay is actually called Airports and Auditions.
Yeah.
Although it was renamed just for that.
Okay. I see. Okay. So it seems very interesting that you're now part of a big thing and not being.
Well, I've kind of been really lucky in that I've always avoided typecasting. You know, that essay that I wrote in The Guardian, which is hard to summarize now, so if anyone's interested in it, I'd encourage them to read it in full. It isn't so much about kind of being typecast in my acting work, which I've always been quite eager to just avoid. I've just rather not work than do roles which I feel are stereotypical. It's more about kind of day-to-day interactions in the real world and how we can kind of assume people are one thing when actually they're another. But I think that's something that's kind of relevant to this film in a strange way, because this is a film where no one is quite exactly who they seem. You know, even if you take a character like mine, Bodhi Rook, he's working for the Empire, but that label isn't enough just to summarize who he is. He's a complex guy. He's just trying to earn a living, so he's just doing a job to try and earn a living. But he realizes that just because he's not a prince or a politician or from an important family, he can still make an impact on the world around him.
How do you enjoy the rest of the things you like? I mean, you rap, I mean, you're very versatile.
Oh, thank you.
Where do you feel that you can express better?
You know, I think there's pros and cons in different things. I think in film you get to collaborate with lots of different people, which can be, really nice to get out of your own head and bounce off others. In music you also have that, but it sometimes comes from a bit more of an immediate and personal place, because you can make it with fewer people. So the distance between it being in your head and being, out there in the world is a little shorter. So I think there's pros and cons to both, but, I'd like to just keep on doing both.